Okay, so I'll point them all out in place and I'll take them out and show them to you. So we got liver, stomach. We can only see part of the stomach. Gray thing here is the colon or large intestine, small intestines. We can see only the very inferior tip of the gallbladder right here. This is the green thing, that's all we can see. Okay. So I take the liver out, I could spin the liver around, and now we can turn it up a little, and there's more of the gallbladder. Okay. So that's liver and gallbladder there. Now we can see the stomach. Remove the stomach. Note that now that the stomach is out, we can see the pancreas. Okay. Pancreas always has a very distinct, some people describe it as grainy, patchy look to it. It always looks like that. This is the pancreas. All right, once I take the stomach out, you got to learn some stomach parts. The stomach can be divided into sort of three basic regions. All right, if I look at this little part sticking out here, this little hump, all this that you can see, all right, that's called the fundus. The little thin end right here, that's called the pylorus. Everything in between is the body. Okay, body, fundus, pylorus. Okay, now your food goes in, the bolus of food goes in, chyme comes out. There are sphincter muscles that control that. This is called the esophageal sphincter because it sits up here, connects to the esophagus. Okay. Sometimes called the cardiac sphincter because it's near the heart. The one at the end here, the little narrow end of the pylorus, is called the pyloric sphincter. Okay. Because of the shape of the stomach, we often call this edge right here the lesser curvature of the stomach. We often call this the greater curvature of the stomach. Okay. If we open the stomach up, note that it is not smooth inside. It actually has a lot of folds. These are called rugae. Okay. Sometimes the structure is referred to as rugose. Okay. So rugae. All right. So that's basically the stomach. Now, I noted before that the gray thing is your colon, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of take that out for a second so we can look at the small intestine better. So here's the small intestine. The small intestine has three regions. The part attached to the stomach is called the duodenum or duodenum. Okay. It is very short and curved. Then there's another portion called the jejunum, and the third portion is called the ileum. You will be able to distinguish the duodenum because it is a short curved portion right here. Okay. Now, after that, it becomes jejunum. You're not going to be able to distinguish where the jejunum starts and where the jejunum ends, I should say, and the ileum starts, because you really have to look at internal structure and its detail to figure that out. Sometimes they try and color them different colors to make you kind of guess where they are, but don't worry about it, okay? You just need to know the order that they come in, okay, for those two. Now, put this back. For the colon, what happens is the end of the ileum of the small intestine then attaches down here to the colon. There is a sphincter muscle where they meet. Okay, it's called the ileocecal sphincter. Ileo for ileum, cecal for the fact that this little end pocket down here is called the cecum. Because what happens is when the chyme is released, okay, it can move up this way to go through the rest of the colon, or it can sit down here in this little end pocket, okay, for a while, which it will do sometimes. So when it's in here, this is the cecum, and then when we start up this way, this is called the ascending colon. Okay. Now, note that attached to the cecum, there's a very tiny little structure called the vermiform appendix or appendix. It turns out they do not do a good job in this model of drawing it. It should be sticking on right there. I think they're trying to maybe make this it, but it's normally a little bitty thing that sticks down right here, okay? But they did put the hole where it enters. If you look right there, there's a little hole there. That would be for the vermiform appendix, the entrance into it. It is a blind dead end pocket, just like the cecum is. So any food that goes down in here, any of the kind that goes down in here, the peristalsis must push it back up this way. It has no way to exit otherwise. So, to review that real quick, ileum comes in, ileocecal sphincter. Then we have the cecum and the appendix down here. This is our ascending colon. This is called the transverse colon. This is called the descending colon. This part right here, where it curves, comes up, and twists hard again, that's called the sigmoid colon. Okay, so generally from approximately right here all the way till it turns, the last bit goes straight down, and that's called the rectum. So it's actually a tiny portion right here where my finger is. You have to get up here close to see it. Okay. If you look down in there, the rectum's down at the bottom. Now, because of the shape of the colon, we have two tight bends, one here, one here. These are called flexures. This one is called the hepatic flexure because it's over by where the liver is. This one is called the splenic or sometimes splenic flexure because it's near the spleen. Okay.
Just the part where it moves from up to like sideways, basically?
Yeah, it's actually the bend right here. Okay. This is the flexure. Okay? And that's it. So those are your terms.
Woo! So we don't learn like the part where, because what do you mean, where does it go, how does it know which one to put it in, like bladder or out the anus?
Well,
we don't learn that part of digestive?
Well, none of your digestive is attached to the bladder. It has nothing to do with your digestive.
Okay. So we're not going to learn like the rest of that?
We are.
Oh, that's more like reproductive. Oh, I see.